Please have a seat. Someone will be right with you.
What the?
Heads up, we've got company. Show me what you...
This is Oni, a game developed by Bungie and published by Gathering of Developers. God, in short. Okay, look, I really wanted that segue in the last video. It doesn't even make sense. I'm gonna be talking about the PS2 port developed by Rockstar Canada and published by Take-Two. Many people know about Bungie. They made Marathon and some other games nobody remembers. But this is not that Bungie. Oni was developed by Bungie West, an offshoot of Bungie formed in 1997. They aren't around anymore as they got merged into the main company back in 2001, with the Microsoft acquisition. So this was the only game that they got to develop in that short time. Let's kick it off with the intro cutscene. Yeah, that was cool. It was made by AIC, who you know from some really nice animes like 80 Police and Cream Lemon. Don't ask how I know about that one. Anyway, there is one problem with that intro. It says jack shit about the story of the game. Here's the quickest way I can sum it up. Let's start the tutorial.
Hi, Kanoko. It's me, Shinatama. I've checked our neural link and it's working perfectly. I'm so excited. Commander Griffin has authorized us to run through TCTF training program Beta 6.
Let me just address the visuals real quick. You might notice this game has a certain art style. This game is very Garuga Mess! The devs took a lot of inspiration from animes like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Trigun, and the works of Kenichi Sonoda. All the 2D art looks the part. Every character has these little cut-ins during cutscenes, showing you their emotional state. Each mission also has a unique mission complete screen, which is nicely drawn. I'm especially impressed by that they went out of the way to make failure screens. Not every single mission has a unique failure screen, but we've still got a handful, which is nice. So no complaints there. On the 3D side, however, things are not looking so good. The character models themselves are fine, I mean just look at Kanoko with her titanium cheeks. But the environments are terrible. Rooms are typically large, barren with lots of repeating textures and very flat lighting. You might think this was done to keep the frame rate up, but no. It still chugs, especially when said large rooms open up into even larger rooms. So the visuals are a bit of a mixed bag. A kind of reverse Shogo. Okay, with that out of the way, let's start playing. This feels terrible. Okay, pause again. We're talking about the movement. Oh my god, that's so disgusting. That's not analog directional movement. That's 8-way digital. It feels terrible, but thank god we can use the D-pad. This means you lose the ability to walk, but that feature is near useless anyway. Well, let's look at the controller layout. There are 4 presets to choose from, but one maps jump to L3, so there are 3 presets to choose from. The layouts are not bad, the entire controller is used up, and jump is mapped to L1. As it should be. So, how is the actual movement itself? Well, some people would say Kanoko controls a bit weighty. I would say Kanoko controls like shit. We have all the standard movement options: running, walking, sprinting, jumping, and sliding. You keep moving slightly after letting go of the button, which can be annoying when maneuvering close to a ledge. It's especially bad when combined with jumping. We have absolutely no air control, and that little slowdown period when letting go transfers into momentum in your jump, making it nigh impossible to accurately platform. Then there is aiming. It sucks titanium ass. We have a minimal auto-aim, which does not work on the training dummies of the tutorial. So, like North, we develop no feel for it. The aiming itself is touchy. This is especially funny when the other Bungie would perfect aiming on a console. In the same year, our aiming speed does not increase gradually, so you always overshoot your targets. The auto-aim is so light it hardly does anything, and the recoil is so heavy keeping shots on an enemy is just not doable. That last one I can sort of forgive as a design decision to encourage melee combat. Anyway, let's go on our first mission.
The Syndicate is using the warehouse to shuttle contraband. Chung went underground to gather evidence. He failed to report in this morning. Find him, and get me what I need to shut the place down. Or shut it down yourself.
I'm on it.
Okay, make contact with the informant and shut the place down.
Ready to lose?
Oh yeah, you can taunt. It does nothing.
You're gonna get beat by a girl.
Speaking of beating people off, combat. The combat is interesting. It's a standard beat 'em up affair. You have your punches and kicks, which can be used to make combos. Most of the combos look simple to perform, like run up to an enemy and punch to snap their neck, or crouch and kick while letting go of crouch. But the game is very finicky with said inputs. Take this clip of me here. I'm trying to perform a special kick, the devil spin kick. It's the crouch and kick one. I press crouch, let go, and while doing that, I press kick. No good, we just crouch, get up, and then kick. I try a couple of different timings and manage to get it a couple of times. A bit consistent even. Now let's try that in combat. I think it has something to do with the frame rate because it becomes impossible to perform when the frame rate dips. And some moves just actively fuck you over, like the neck snap. You walk up to an enemy and while walking into range, you punch. Either Konoko fucks up and does a haymaker running punch thing, or the enemy just bitch slaps me off. And you need these kind of moves for crowd control. Once you lose control over the fight, the enemies will relentlessly pummel you. You don't have any invincibility frames, so fighting 3 enemies can quickly knock you from full health to almost dead. Can't you just block? I can hear you ask. Yes. Yes, you can. Blocking is done by doing nothing. Standing still allows Konoko to block attacks. From the front. Not all attacks. And no grapples. To dodge grapples, we need to dodge out of the way. But grapples don't have a wind-up, so I don't know when the enemy is going to grapple. So I get grappled, and shoved to the floor, and fucking pummeled to death. This is fucking middle school combat. But you have guns. Yeah, pulling out your guns in close quarters is like pulling out your dick. It's asking to get kicked in the balls. The enemy will just disarm you, and now they have a gun. With infinite ammo. Let's get back to the story. The informant.
It's Chung. I found him.
Dead?
Yes, sir.
Keep moving.
Near his body we find a data pad. It seems this company is a front for the terrorist organization called the Syndicate, and they are funneling contraband through a daughter company called Musashi Manufacturing. We locate the warehouse manager, who tells us that some kind of lorry is being loaded by the Syndicate. Time to haul ass to stop it.
I found a data pad. It's an encrypted shipping manifest that links the warehouse to Musashi Manufacturing. I want to go check it out. It's not far from here. Musashi is owned by BGI. According to your latest report, BGI is a suspected syndicate front. If we can prove the connection, we can move against them. I can go in and...
Negative. Fall back.
We can't afford to wait for another team to arrive. We have to move quickly or they are going to get away.
She won't back down. Her adrenals have been rising steadily. Too much stress could destabilize her latency.
All right, Konoko. I'm giving you a shot at this.
Thank you, sir. I won't let you down.
We waltz into place and tell them kindly to stop. So they call security on us. While fighting around the facility, we don't make much progress. Konako starts hypothesizing that the Syndicate planted the datapad to distract us, while they plan for something big. We get told to keep searching the facility until we get a call from Griffin, confirming our superstitions. The Syndicate is attacking a research facility 10 minutes from here. But while trying to make our way out of the facility, Shinatama detects a biomechanical expert system, a deadly brain. It's a computer with a brain. It closed off our exit, so we have to take it out.
Them not to activate it, it will kill us all! Run while you still can!
Why did you build it in the first place?
Well, you know.
Forget it, just get out of here.
Run while you can!
Oh fuck, that actually matches really well.
I've interfaced with the deadly brain. It's broken out of the Musashi intranet and is trying to gain access to the local TCTF public security node. Turn off those breakers, fast!
I checked. There is no audio here. We need to use all of our skills to dodge the lasers and interact with the computers. 12 times. Just make sure you don't die during this fight, or you'll have to watch all of the cutscenes again.
Oh, it's unleashing a torrent of digital images of itself.
On our way out, we hear that Konoko is being monitored for something. The details are vague. When we arrive at the research facility, we encounter this hunk. He's a beefy boy, and takes a bunch of punishment to take down. But I know how to cheese his AI. Block this, you fucking casual! We start making our way up the building to unlock the front door for the TCTF troops. Up there we meet a new enemy whose gimmick is blowing up when defeated. The TCTF can't advance into the lobby as the Syndicate has them pinned down. We quickly help out a bit.
Roger that. Before you're secured.
This next section is a pain. All the enemies are armed with SMGs and are not afraid to gun me down. Over and over. This is also the first section where I started to get annoyed by the time between autosaves. It gets very frustrating to have to do the same 20-minute section 5 times. I think it's time to mellow out. Have you heard this game's music? It's been playing in the background and it claps hard. If some of these tracks remind you of Halo or Marathon, it should. The OST was jointly composed by Martin O'Donnell and Michael Salvatori, the Halo composers, and the Power of 7, the guys who composed the intro for Marathon 2 and Infinity. Martin and Michael even use the same synthesizers they used in Halo. It's damn good. And some of these tracks are definitely going to enter regular use. As for the other sounds, nothing really to write home about. The voice work is fine, but Konoko sounds familiar for some reason.
It's a diversion. It has to be. The Syndicate is gonna try something big while my team and I are busy here.
And I remember why. The director from Golden Boy.
Are you insane? Don't you know that Mr. Ringon was much too busy to spare the time to give an autograph to a mere peon like you?
I like how this is the second time I recognize somebody from Golden Boy. Okay, now that my nerves are calmed again, let's take the Venga bus.
Oh, no, you don't. You're not getting away that easily.
Reports are coming in of a Syndicate attack on the airport.
Muro, stop!
This is Muro, the leader of the Syndicate. Do I even need to tell you that he is Konoko's brother? We fight our way through the airport and experience the world's fastest PowerPoint presentation. Muro gives us a little monologuing and leaves us to fight an enemy with the most annoying weapon in the game. Sorry if I butcher the pronunciation. This is the Van de Graaf pistol. It stuns you so enemies can pummel you. Chasing Muro through the airport and interacting with Badge SOS, the cry of many a gamer. We catch up with Muro, who is trying to escape in a plane. It's too late to stop his plane, but with a tracking device, given to us by an engineer, we can follow where he's going. I just need to close the gap! Okay, I'm getting kind of frustrated with the game at this point. So I bumped it down to easy. Yeah, play the clip. It's the shitty controls, okay? And the lack of save points. Muro takes an interest in us, or more so our android friend, Shinatama. For this, he raids a TCTF HQ. On our way over, Kanoko witnesses the start of the assault and quickly gets in before the compound finishes its lockdown protocol. We try our best to get to Shinatama, but the Syndicate beats us to the punch, kidnapping her. Our last hope is to stop them at the rooftop, where we are greeted by an old acquaintance. You fucking knob. What the hell was that? Despite explicitly being told not to go after her by Griffin, we still give chase. Do you think? No. They're holding her in the atmospheric conversion center. A bit late, but I think it's time for a little backstory about the world, while we fight our way through here. Oni takes place in the far-flung future of 2032. There is only one government left, and it's the dictatorial Big Brother kind. The air in the world has gone bad, so to stop everybody from slowly dying, these massive atmospheric conversion centers were created to purify the air. In the facility, we encounter a scientist who saw a Syndicate tinkering with the processor. This is very troubling. I think we need to make our way to Shinatama. Pushing further to the power supply, we have another Monster Energy ultraviolet moment before finding her.
What did they do to you?
You're not who you think you are.
What?
You are my Hasegawa, your father.
You're malfunctioning. Let me get you out of this chair.
Don't! He hurt me, Kanoko. Badly. If you try to move me, I will probably die.
Why? Why did they do this to you?
I am an SLD, an android programmed with your brain engrams. I have seen everything you have seen, felt everything you have felt. They used me to monitor the growth of the chrysalis inside you.
I don't understand. Shinatama, what's wrong?
I have just received a coded self-destruct transmission from TCTF Command. I can't stop the sequence, but I can slow it down.
I'm not going to abandon you. There has to be something I can do.
Goodbye, Kanoko.
No! Goodbye, Shinatama.
There's nothing we can do but abandon her.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
We need to make our way out of the facility. Luckily, we run into some TCTF soldiers. Thank God we are saved. Or not. They attack us on sight. It's official. We've made the list as a traitor. We're almost at the access hatch when they switch on the purifier. We need answers, and we want them now. Kanoko knows where she can find all the answers she needs, in the regional state building. This seems to be some kind of digital library, and it seems somebody left us a surprise.
Come in down over here! Get us some backup, fast!
After a little searching, an employee tells us the restricted files we are looking for should be stored in the command center in the basement of the building. Once there, we start downloading the files we need. Before we can download all the files we need, it's interrupted by another scoundrel somewhere in the building. Chasing the ninja over the rooftops, we catch up and corner him. If my health doesn't drop anymore, it's because I'm cheating. Allow me to explain. Remember how I said in the combat section that moves become harder to pull off when the frame rate dips? Well, how do you like this for size? At this point, I was getting so pissed off at the game, I was going to punch kick some combos into my controller. So, if you don't see me take any damage in further clips, you know why.
All you have done by hunting me has forced me to fight. You should have let me go.
Who are you? Why can I feel you inside me?
Kanoko, please don't say things like that.
Does your blood burn when you kill? Mine does.
Stop it.
We writhe inside as we are torn apart to make way for what we will become. Surrender to it. Let the bliss of oblivion free you of all your doubts and fears.
You're one of Muro's thugs, nothing more!
We shall see.
My father's file. Griffin encouraged me not to look too deeply into my past. Seems like there's a lot he didn't want me to know. I could feel the ninja, and I knew he could feel me. Why? What am I becoming? Are we the same?
This is never elaborated on. Let's move on. Konoko heads to her father's old lab and studies up on her past. Her father was a teacher and her mother was a student and political activist. She knew that the government was concealing the fact that most of the planet is uninhabitable and wanted proof of this. They traveled to a wilderness preserve, contaminated zones barred off by the government, to see for themselves. In the contaminated zone, she got her leg cut, which immediately got infected. But this is no regular infection. These are turbo bacteria.
All I could do was ease her pain.
After handing out some American first aid, he pledged to do something about this dying world in her name, with the help of her brother, the doctor from the beginning of the game.
Jamie Hasagawa. Maiden name, Jamie Kerr. Kerr's sister. Shinatama was right. Kerr worked with my father. But on what?
You really don't know?
Tell me.
No more time for questions, little girl.
Reality is bending. We fight Muro and go through some trippy sequences, where we face the strongest opponent yet, ourselves.
Hello, mine.
Let's go make contact with Dr. Kerr in the TCTF prison. Sneaking through some lasers and fighting some enemies, we meet the man himself.
What are you doing here? Griffin's men are right around.
Let me worry about Griffin. Right now, I need your help.
Yes, you do. Perhaps more than you know. But I'll need my equipment. And they will try to shut me out, so I need you to reroute the power manually.
I'm on it.
I'll meet you in my lab.
Kerr tells us about what our father was planning to do about the ecological disaster. In fact, we are what he was planning to do. Not in that way. Inside of Konoko there is something called a Deodan Chrysalis. It grows through stress and trauma, slowly evolving the host, allowing them to withstand the toxic environment outside of the air purifiers. In fact, that is what Shinatama was for, monitoring the growth of the chrysalis. Konoko is not pleased by having something shoved inside of her without her knowing, but Kerr was forced to implant it by Griffin. He gave him safety from the syndicate after Kerr and Konoko's father worked for them for research grants. He also tells us there is another. It's Muro. Are you really surprised? He has a chrysalis all his own. This one was implanted when their father was captured, which is also the reason why Griffin wanted ours implanted. We are the insurance. Before we can escape with the old man, we are discovered.
It's her.
Dude, I have a shield. We'll exact revenge for his death. But first, we need to make our way out of this prison. If we really are more resilient to the outside world, our best chance is through biomatter disposal. Time to confront Griffin. The TCTF thinks we died in the acid, but it seems Griffin knows better. Breaking in through the roof, we confront the bastard for answers, but he escapes using his elevator desk. Who the fuck builds their office in an elevator? Fighting our way down, we confront him.
You can't escape me. You saw to that.
You're a failed experiment. Calculated risk, nothing more. I made sure that I would be ready for this day from the very beginning. Shinatama was in constant contact with you through every stage of your development. No one knows you better. I have wired her to the control system of this assault pod. You haven't got a chance. You never did.
It seems Shinatama was robbed of death. Let's release her from this misery. The boss fight mimics the Deadly Brain fight. We need to interact with the consoles to shut her off. Then let me kill you, for fuck's sake!
Warning, target neutralization failed. Failed incendiary organism present. Engaging Omega security mode.
Emergency override, Griffin Alpha Zero. Emergency override. No, stay back! Oh!
Gotcha.
This is a bad idea. Put the gun down.
I'm a rogue agent, haven't you heard? Very dangerous. I'm exactly what you wanted me to be.
So, how does this end?
For you, badly.
That's your call. You can pull the trigger or you can walk away. It's up to you.
What do you think this is, The Last of Us 2? Time to take care of Muro. It seems Muro is holding out to some kind of military base. We make our way inside, but our way further into the facility is blocked. Konoko gets an idea.
I don't see a buzzer.
Here we find out what Muro's plan is. He has taken control of the world's atmospheric conversion centers, with the intent to reverse them and poison the world's atmosphere, so that everybody will need a chrysalis to survive, giving him ultimate power. There are too many stations to disarm. We have one shot. If we overload the generators, we can blow them up before he gets a chance to poison the atmosphere. After blowing them up, there's only one thing left to do: kill Muro.
Welcome, sister. I am very impressed with what you've been able to accomplish without drawing on the full power of your chrysalis.
You're capable of so much more. Let me show you. Glorious, isn't it? This is the future. Join me, or die like all the others, choking on dead air and foul water. I've accomplished everything our father dreamed of doing.
He dreamed of life. All you know is death.
Muro has transformed into some kind of demon. Oh! He is piss easy. He doesn't do much damage, and his gimmick is that we need to hit him when his shields are down.
When I blew the processors, I bought us some time, but at a horrible cost. The dead and the dying now line the streets, but it's impossible to deny the problem any longer. My father's work may prove to be the salvation of the afflicted after all. Mankind as we knew it is doomed. The chrysalis will change us all. Let's hope it's for the better.
And that wraps up Oni. This game is, it has, this port, how do I say this? It's not very nice to play. On the PS2 at least. I saw some people praise this game's combat system, but they always seem to talk about the PC version. Which I can't say anything about, as I wanted to judge the PS2 port as its own thing. The story is good and visuals decent, but for the love of God, don't play the PS2 port. It's not good. It's frustrating. The game either ignores inputs or combos, and the frame rate dips harder than a uranium miner's life expectancy. But it had potential, and honestly, I would have loved to see a sequel. And that was almost the case. Angel Studios, now Rockstar San Diego, was working on Oni 2, but it got cancelled during the Rockstar acquisition. It was going to run on the Angel game engine, which was their proprietary engine. That engine went on to become the Rage engine. Oni 2 could have been the first game to run on Rage, not some fucking ping pong game. It would have been a fun video game fact that was told 10 years down the line. I'm kinda sad knowing that now. Next time, we're gonna play something a bit more lighthearted, like Duke Nukem. Yes, there is a marathon symbol.